So today we're here to report on two things. One thing will lead into the other. And the first thing we discuss is that there's a new opening that's coming. There's a new opening of energy that's coming down to the planet. And by saying that it will lead to the next thing, what it will lead to is more fear. And the reason being is that the energies will be much stronger than they have been before. And you all know how much you've been walking through what you've walked through in this last year, how difficult the energy caused imbalances in your own system, not necessarily just physical, but in all three parts of your body and your spiritual body, your energetic body also took a hit. There was a clearing that was taking place with all the new energies that were coming in. And we see that all of you did so well with this. You all found some sort of balance, some way of walking through some of the things that you still were carrying, and you allowed them to be present. You allowed yourself to be present with them. You allowed yourself to be with them, and you allowed yourself to then decide for yourself whether you wish to hold on to those things any longer. Whatever it is that you might have decided to hold on to will become more significant in this next opening that's going to be taking place in 1 week. It will happen a week from today. So in your time frame, it's going to be happening in a week from today's as a Sunday. So 7 days from now, and it will begin at midnight of that same day, that same weekend on Saturday, and will be going on for quite a long time, probably through the rest of the year, depending upon how everyone does, all the souls, the old souls do, the ones here to serve, as a combination, as a group, to see where it goes and how those things that you've held on to for so long are being weaned away, are being dissolved through your heart space. This new opening will be a strong amount of energy coming directly into your heart space. It is there for support. It is there to help you see things without being emotionally attached to them. So there will be a new way of dissolving these things. You might notice for yourself as this starts taking place that you don't have quite the emotional attachments you used to, that you were carrying from past lives and from the beginning stages of this lifetime as well. Those things are now gone. They're in the background. It doesn't say that they might come and trigger you every once in a while, of course, but the ability to be detached emotionally from them has been taken care of. So as new things develop, you'll become more of an objective observer. You will see things so much differently than you did before. You won't see them as much in judgment anymore. You won't see them as part of your program, or as Tomei teaches strategies. You won't see them from that perspective anymore. For that is more of a defined and controlled way that the mind wishes to be. When you're in the heart dissolving things, you see things from more of an observation. And that observation is more from feeling, not from discerning within your mind what is going on. If that is still allowed, you might say, by yourself, you will see there is somewhat of a dualism that is attached to that. So you begin possibly to look at things as right and wrong. And of course, if you are, and you can observe that you are, you will notice that now you're back in the mind and not in the heart. You're very good at this already. All of you have done such a fantastic job of looking at your own journeys and having those realizations of energy and vibration and frequency that have caused you to feel that really heavy denseness that you've been carrying for so long. These days are over. You will now see things with much more light. And because that has happened, and because you have crossed over into this new realm, we are sending a direct energetic vibration to each one of you. It will be the same vibrational tone for everyone only that tone, because it is sent from the galactic core and coming to your heart, you will only take in that which you can handle. You don't have to worry about being really thrown for a loop and not being able to stay in this energy that used to cause you, as you know, this last year, a lot of aches and pains, sicknesses, it seemed, maybe flu-like symptoms. It might have caused your mind and your brain to be very, very, you might say, a cloudy type situation, very foggy and not being able to see clearly sometimes, feeling tired all the time. These days are over. You will now feel more enlightened. You will feel lighter. You'll be excited. You'll be wanting to get more and more and more to continue the journey that you've been here to serve. So that opening is coming in another week. It will be lasting for quite a long time. We're not going to say how long at this point, because it depends upon, again, the group consciousness of all old souls together, raising the vibration once again on the planet, assisting the planet to also go through its observations and to see how it can better serve the human beings that are on this planet right now that are old souls. Those that are not ready to receive this, those that choose to hold on to the old ways, are really going to have a lot of difficulties. You are seeing this throughout your world now. There's still many wars. In fact, there's more internal type strife than there ever has been before for, let's say, each government that's around the world. You can see it happening, especially in Africa. You can see it happening in Europe, in the Far East. You can see it even in your own town, in cities and different parts of the country of the United States that are starting to become more extreme. What this leads to, of course, is a sense of fear. And that is what we wish to talk about now. The openings that are coming a week from now will cause the old souls to obviously feel lighter and will be able to see things more clearer. But on the other spectrum, it's also going to cause those that do not to go into fear, a deeper sense of fear than ever before. It's almost as if you're having them go into a corner and they're going to have to fight their way out. But this has to take place. This push against those souls who do not wish to change, to see things differently, have to, what you might be called, slapped in the face without a physical slap. The energies that are coming in are going to be so strong for them that it is going to cause fear. And they possibly will turn to you. There's still the opportunity for each soul to make a change, to make a choice that is more from the heart. And they'll see that through you, depending upon where you're at, depending upon who you come in contact with. And don't be surprised if it is just somebody that might walk up in the street to you and ask you those questions, ask you how you feel. Why are you so balanced and what's going on? Why do you see things so differently? What is going on for you? And you will know instantly, because of the new energies coming in that you are using to enlighten yourself, you will feel and sense the answer that is most perfect for them to hear. The vibrations of the words that you will use will be perfect. And you might even shake your head after walking away and understand for yourself, where did this come from? How did those words come together? It is because you're now open. You're open to the vast connections you've always been open to, but seem to be blocked because you were more entertained by your strategy or program. You're more entertained by the judgment and the fear that you wish to hold on to. And now that that's gone, you will see things so differently. So fear, once again, is going to be a modem that's going to really take off in the world, as if it isn't already. Do not be swayed by this. Become stronger for it. These are gifts as well that are being given. The opportunities to experience all different kinds of fear. different variations of frequencies and densities of fear. Before you were feeling your own fear of unworthiness, most old souls have a deep sense of feeling that kind of fear. And now those days are over, because what you have done is you've become an alchemist by changing the energetic values of that fear that you were so comfortable with into a higher sense of frequency. You allowed yourself to bring it in and to feel it, and use your heart to decide that, no, I am not going to allow this to take hold on me. I am going to be with it, and I'm not going to judge it. But now you bring gratitude for it, because it has taught you how not to be, but how to be open in the heart. These things had to take place so you could see the truth, so you could see the incredible gifts that are awaiting you within your own heart space, so that you could be with yourself in a way that was humble, compassionate, understanding, and free. For you know there is no freedom the way you used to observe things. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen automatically so quickly that you're from one side to the other. No, of course, there's still going to be more challenges ahead. You will still have to feel certain ways, but we're sharing with you today, we're trying to show you that you will be looking at them and feeling and being with them in a much different perspective than you ever have before. It's almost as if you want to play with this, as opposed to be so drowned in emotion that it takes you into depression. If there is a depression, you're going to smile and laugh with it, as opposed to allow yourself to get so deep into it that it doesn't seem like you'll be able to crawl out of it. This is very important, for you are the light bearers. You bring about the opportunities for others to see, millions of others to see, how to walk past these things. They will feel that from you. You will feel many waves of depression, for instance. You will feel many waves of heartache. You will feel many waves of judgment. All of these waves that you begin to feel, you will observe and you will play with, and you will feel the energies and you will shift them, so that as somebody comes to you with a wave of depression, you will totally know in the moment, by feeling their words in their bodies, what kind of depression it might be, what level of frequency is this type of depression versus somebody else that comes to you with depression that has a different wave of depression and frequency. It is time for you to bring out the gifts that you have in your heart, to become the true way shower. The way is the way, and the way is the heart, and love is the way to shower upon any type of fear, no matter what it might feel like, no matter what kind of frequency is presented. The higher frequency of love doesn't have different frequencies like fear does. The reason for this, of course, is the different frequencies of fear allow you to practice how love can dissolve that energy and meld it into its own love, so that it changes the energetic value of the energy that was there through that fear. As you continue to feel different kinds of fear and bring love to it every single time, you will begin to master the ability to alchemize that fear. This is the true alchemization that you came here to be with and to place upon the planet. And it doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter if you don't know a specific language, or there are people that are living life so much differently than you live life. It does not matter, because everything comes from the heart. No matter who the being is, it comes from the heart. And you can feel it. Once you open your heart, you'll automatically be able to be in touch with somebody else's heart, and you will see the blockages that might be there. You will feel why they do the things they do. And if they ask you, which is a very important piece, to assist them in some way, you will be able to assist them for the best of all, because you will feel that. Now, some of you, in hearing this maybe for the first time, might feel this is overwhelming, that why me? Why do I have to be this person? Why do I have to be the one to carry this mantle, if you will? You're not alone, though. There are millions out there of souls waiting to find the same gifts. All they need is a little help in awakening. So you're not carrying the burden of the world upon your shoulders. In fact, it's going to be a moment-to-moment thing, as you have been practicing for quite a while now. Practicing in presence. You will not allow harm to come to yourself, but that doesn't mean you change the harm that somebody wishes to cause. That's their choice. That's their journey. But by taking in the energies from these others who wish to harm, they go right through you. Where they might have attached themselves to you before and you allowed them to, no longer will that be the case. That doesn't mean you don't have the opportunity to feel how harm is being caused. You don't have the opportunity to understand within your heart the density that is there to assist you to learn how to be with it and then transmute it into a higher frequency. You cannot take away the energies that people wish to project. You can be with them, but it's up to them to take away their own energies, to change them if they wish. And of course, unfortunately for most, they're not quite sure how to do that. Now, the reason we're bringing these two understandings to you, the one of the opening of the new energies coming in, and of course, the understanding of how you can transmute fear, is because in the workshop that is coming up, this is what you will be working with. You will have an understanding now fully of the gifts you have that are uniquely within each one of you, but yet as you'll be able to see how this really all does come together with each one of you individually, but also what might happen as you come together in a group consciousness to do it as well. You can make changes without an agenda. You can assist others without taking them off their journey. But there are those that will come to you. There are those that will show up that wish to know the journey within the heart. They will come for healing. And how you sit with them and be with them and showing them the gifts that they have within themselves to heal themselves. And of course, this is just not physical. This is of every body that you hold as a human being as well as a light body, a light bearer, a Waishal. The way this is accomplished the most is with an open heart. When there's an open heart, as you know, there is no judgment. There is acceptance that within each soul, there's the opportunity to awaken. That'll be the key, because some will come to you bearing something heavy that is not really so heavy. And there will be others that are coming to you that will be carrying a burden that is unbelievable. It seemed unbearable. But you will still be able to assist them to find a way through it. They will see it clearly as they just come into your own resonance. It doesn't have to be through words. It is time for you to own your mastership. Some of you don't understand this, or maybe don't even feel it yet, but you've crossed over already. There are so many who have crossed over already. And there isn't a party or a celebration, but there is a sense of feeling it and knowing it. For it is not a strong sensation of crossing over when it happens, for it's very light. There seems to be an all of a sudden knowing. You know things that you didn't seem to know before, even though you know you already had them in you. But now they've come full circle and you see them so clearly. And you see others so clearly. You see situations so clearly. During those times, there seems to be the opportunity to judge, but you look at yourself in that situation and you realize that there's no judgment that needs to take place. There might just be a healing. And you can send forth that energy that you have in the diamond essence of your heart without an agenda that it has to look a certain way, and to allow a softness to come into that situation. It doesn't mean the softness will take over. It just means it is now more present than it was before. And that's all it takes. Then it's up to the individuals or the situations to choose for themselves whether they wish that softness or if they want to continue down the road of harm. It is their choice. So many of you have been doing this already. You still get caught up in life, for you're still here to learn, and you're still here to grow. But aren't you more happy than you were before? Isn't there more sense of balance inside your body, in your heart space? Don't you feel that you've crossed over in some regard, in some way? Isn't there more joy in your life than there was before? Why is that? It's because you've done the work. Because you've chosen it. You've chosen to fill your life with integrity, with a new knowing, not the old knowing. You've chosen to be more present with others, even though some are still very hard to be present with. You understand in some capacity through the heart that others just have a different journey. And it's okay. It's even okay that you're not part of their journey anymore. And maybe someday in the future, they'll come back and you'll see them that they have found themselves in ways that you would hope they would have. And in some way, you have projected that with them when you were with them. And now they're taking up that energy. And it's a beautiful, beautiful way of showing you that you did make a difference, even if it was 20 years ago. Every soul makes it, no matter how long it might take. Every soul will find their way back home, but they must do it on their own. as you walk your walk with what's to come. And as you continue to alchemize fear, changing it first within yourself, and then projecting it out into the universe, assisting everyone everywhere, all beings, all light bodies, all stars, all universes. It affects everything. As you change your heart, you change all of everything, the all of the cosmos, all energies anywhere, everywhere. Take that change that comes through you. It is an incredibly joyous task to be with, and not a burden in any way. Finding your joy, finding your journey, assisting those who come to you, projecting out those energies that you feel on a moment-to-moment basis, continuing to work through any of the fears that are presented to you, mastering your ability to shift and change energies and frequencies for the best of all. How much beauty you can bring into this planet, how much balance will come here. So remember that a week from today, there's the opportunity to begin even a stronger journey than ever before. That we're here to assist the heart, to observe, and to not judge in the mind any longer. To do the best you can with this, and to learn how to heal yourself in all aspects of who you are, and continue your journey to project that out wherever you go. We will say to end this, that you will be shocked at the things that are going to begin to show up for you. And we don't mean shocked, of course, in any negative connotation at all. You'll be shocked at the manifestations that are going to start happening. So all we ask is that you open up to yourself and continue on, and things are going to change, especially the tiredness. You will find ways to rest without even having to sleep at night. You'll be resting in your soul, and your soul will allow you to feel the comfort and the softness of the cosmos, which will bring you a very, very deep sense of rest. So allow yourselves to take a few deep breaths, and retain as much as you can. That seemed to be a little bit quick. Allow yourselves to retain everything that you've heard, because you might be using it at some other point. Slowly come back. How you guys doing? Good. Good. Dane, doing good? You might as well just leave it on. You don't need to. There's nobody else.
I didn't want to come back.
Yeah. Wow, that was pretty exciting. Yeah, it was really exciting. The energy that came into me right away was really joyous, is the best word I can come up with. It's really happy and joyous. And the fear aspect was really strong. As they were kind of sharing some of that, I was feeling a lot of the different kinds of frequencies of fear, which was really, really kind of fun, actually, to feel all that stuff. Some of it was really emotional. I really felt emotional a couple of times, especially I think when they and right now said that everybody's crossed over already. That was like really strong. I could feel it. It was just so strong. It's really it's like, how would I say, just a great thing to know, or it's just it's amazing, really. It's just really amazing. So I'm excited to meet all these others that have crossed over. I think I'm going to meet a few of them where we go. So that was really, really something. At the end, what caught me too was they said the rest part, the not being tired. Wow, at the end, I got to feel that the kind of the rest of the soul is what I think they said. Wow, I felt so comforted and just so like I could go out and do anything right now. I don't know what, but it just, versus that tiredness that we've had for such a long time, this whole year of just like, when are we going to be able to rest? When can we just, and there wasn't any rest because we're all working on our stuff, and it just doesn't seem whether we're doing it at night in our dreams or whether we're doing it when we're awake or whatever. It just seemed like there was never time to just take a break. And it sounds like this is finally happening, that we're going to be in a different kind of mode of energy now as we go forward. So anyway, that's kind of what hit me the most right now. So you guys want to share anything that you felt? And if you're going to speak, come over here so it can be on, so you can be on the recording. So Zuby's coming over. I'm gonna get up with her. The microphone is yours. Because you have to be able to speak.
I gotcha. All right. No, I really like resonated with the part that was talking about detachment. So, because I have been feeling like that, things that used to really easily draw me in and knock me down, or at least get me like churning a little bit. I've been like, well, all right, that's curious. That's an interesting way to go about things. And, I was just telling Tomei that I'm going into court. And at this point, this is probably like, people are like, well, it's about time. And I'm like, well, actually, no, it feels like the most loving thing I could do right now. And it never felt like that before. Before it felt angry. But at this point, I'm like, no, it's like really the most, I don't know. And whatever happens, happens, and and I'm like, wow, how did I get there? So that part really was, I was like, holy crap. Yeah, I haven't just lost my mind. But yeah, I mean, that and the whole thing, I'm trying to think of other stuff that everybody, I do feel like something has kind of shifted in me where I'm like, okay, and a lot of people are kind of asking already, like, all right, what's going on with you? Like, how are you so chill? and your life is a hot mess. You know what I mean? Like you're all over the map, but like you're happy. And, I don't know. So that was amazing. Anyway, hi. Okay.
You guys want to say anything? No? Good. I'll let you summarize everything, but. You can just- Okay. First thing on that I got really kind of encouraged about was all the kind of positive energy that we're going to be getting here in another week, and where that's going to take you. I know he said it's going to last for a while. But it's kind of neat and something to really look forward to as to how is that going to change. You know, I guess you have to be ready for it to come in and come into your heart. But that was very encouraging, and it was when you were talking about rest. You guys both talking about rest. It just seems like I've been working tons and tons and tons of helping people, and sometimes you're going, you know, why am I putting all this time and energy into helping everybody, assisting and everything? And it's like you're ready for rest, but at the same time, I feel good about what I'm doing. And with this new energy, somehow I think that's all going to play into it as you're going to, I don't know if you're going to feel more rest, but you're going to feel like maybe what you're doing is accomplishing something for you and for others at the same time. And it was really a quick little story here. Friday, a buddy of mine and we climbed to the top of Buffalo Mountain, which is quite a trek. I didn't realize it was going to be the kind of trek it was. It's not like doing 100-mile race, but it's, you know, it was a trek for me. It's a lot of work, especially going up those boulders. And I got to the top, and I have a family of mountain goats. There's everybody had to go down quicker, and so I was staying up there. And there's mom and a dad, about a 1-year-old and a newborn mountain goat, all hanging out on top of Buffalo Mountain. And they were like, I was just one of them. They didn't care I was there. They just kind of cruised around and ate. The little one jumped on mom, and it was kind of really a cool. And then the views you have up there. So as I'm up there, here come these 4 guys. And these are young dudes, 25, 26 years old. They were part of a bachelor party, actually. And they were the only ones that made it. Some made it to the boulder field. These guys made it to the top. And we just started talking and took some pictures. And it was kind of weird. The one guy was just like, he said, as we were talking, and I actually ended up running into them later that night, which was really crazy. I went down to that first Friday thing and ran into him again. And they said, they came to me and they said, you're one of the nicest people and energy and blah, 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 all this positive stuff. And I was like, I don't know these guys. It was just, but you felt like some of the stuff that was brought up today and just feeling like maybe some of the stuff you're doing is coming out and is helping people. And I really look forward to what's going to happen this next week and from then on. And maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel, if you want to call it that. So that the work you're doing is actually paying off in a way, if that makes any sense. And your energy is good and it is helping other people and they feel it. I don't know how that works. Tomei can respond to that a lot better than I can. So anyway, today was a really neat experience, very positive, I thought, and very, really looking forward to the next week or so. Hi, Dane.
Hey, Rick.
Dane, do you have anything you wanna share?
Sure, yeah, just I guess a few things similar to what you mentioned, the at the end when they were talking about the soul resting, like that was just incredible. There was this it was like I was asleep almost. Like
Yeah.
it was really hard to do, or it's really hard to describe, but it's almost like I I like went into this sort of soul trance where it's just like there's no expansion or whatever of activity or energy, or no expense of energy. It's just like you're just resting in this completely restful space that never needs to sleep because it's always rested. Kind of, there was like a feeling of just such a deep peace.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was really just I've been feeling that fatigue a lot, especially the last year. And just for that moment, it was just like you don't need to feel fatigued. Your soul is always here with all the energy it ever needs. So it's type sort of thing. But there was like the feeling of that is really hard to describe. So it was just like a really beautiful moment. And then I'm trying to remember the other things. One that hit me was kind of from some of our sessions, like the power of kind of perspective, and like the perspective of the ego and the perspective of the heart, and like where the heart can view, like I felt a lot of the channel today was kind of like that not optimism of the heart, but that embracing of the heart of just whatever comes, and that beautiful alchemy process that's always available, and just keeping the perspective of that when things are coming your way that are really challenging, or that you're encountering a fear in yourself that's harder than any fear you've ever experienced, or a fear in someone else, or whatever it might be. And just I don't know, just it hit me again of that kind of like, what perspective are you anchoring? Because in every moment you have the choice of kind of which direction to go with it. And when the perspective of the heart, it's just like everything just kind of melds into that alchemy, versus kind of the perspective of the mind where it's fighting it, or it's viewing it in a way that's not really helpful for you or for anyone. So yeah, just kind of was really, that just came through really strong for me, just that feeling of choice and perception as we're presented with these new opportunities from the energies that are coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot in a very short time.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the shortest ones we've had, I think, as far as a channel. So anything anybody else came up with kind of at the end here?
I mean, what you were saying about what happened on that hike. I mean, synchronicities right now are crazy, but the synchronicity of how everything you said lined up with what, and I haven't seen them, you know, forever. Like,
Mhm.
and that we're all going through such similar things right now.
Yeah.
But
Zuby was sharing that the synchronicities that seem to be happening are becoming maybe stronger,
yeah, and
more prevalent and
prevalent
stronger.
and
And
bigger.
I would say that, in some respect, that they've always been there. It's just that because we've changed so drastically that we're able to see things so much differently now.
Yeah.
And if what they said, I think according to what we were just talking about, if I remember, they were saying that that's really going to start happening even more. That we're going to see things so much more clear than ever before. And I got a feeling that's part of the, to take off on what you just said a little bit also, is that I believe that really provides us with a really nice trust, and a strong trust that they have our back, that they're watching us, and they're there for us, and all we have to do is open ourselves to it. We don't, it's like almost you don't even have to do anything. Just it just happens. But it's there to kind of give you that little tap at the back of your head, like, are you watching? Are you hearing? Are you listening? Are you feeling that we're here to help you? We're here to assist you and to not go into doubt as much as possible, and just to keep walking because you're doing a great job. So,
Well, it's just like yesterday, I missed the email about this.
yeah, I
And I
see.
just happened to walk into the direction, he said they were leaving.
Yeah.
I thought, well, you go, are you coming tomorrow? Sure. You know,
Yeah,
there's synchronous.
Yeah.
It's just, there's, like, the whole thing Friday was the time thing, and then yesterday was like, and then today I was supposed to be with patients and stuff. It was at this hospital. And it's just weird.
so now free. Yeah.
Everything is just,
Yeah, Rick was just saying that even me running into him at the rec center yesterday, he didn't even know about the channel. And that it was perfect timing because I was kind of on my way out and he was on his way in. So just simple things like that, we start noticing more and more, and how they're there to help us. You know, we always talk about seeing the penny on the ground. I found a dime today, and it just at the end of my run. And I just, I just put it up there and say, hey, thanks for the abundance. And the guy I was talking to, a client of mine, who I hadn't talked to in quite a while, for some reason, I just sent out a text to him to say, hey, I hope things are good. And so we ended up having like an hour conversation during my run, and he sent me some abundance for just having a talk,
Nice.
And so it just, again, I sit back and smile and just am amazed that, how it all comes together and how it all works when you're being authentic, authentic, just being from the heart, always just welcoming, opening, and doing the best you can with what you got.
Well, I'm like dying to tell you guys. Well, okay, the sun isn't as bright right now, but you have an angel right there.
Yeah.
And so before you even said they're watching over us, in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, they're watching over us. And then you start talking about their what? It's like constant, like threaded in everything that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's cool.
We had, Lisa and I ran a garage sale not too long ago, last weekend, maybe, was it? Yeah, it was last weekend. And there wasn't a huge crowd that came, but the people that came were specific for items that we had for sale. And they didn't know they were there for sale, but they came in and they bought these high priced items that we had, and they were perfect because they were just for them. It was amazing how that was working the whole day. So it's stuff like that. Like, you can sit there and say, well, that's just luck or something. It's not luck. It's just the way the energy works, the way we keep opening ourselves up, and it goes out, and then people show up. And even the one person that bought the Len's bike was from Corvallis, which is where my daughter teaches toxicology at the University of Oregon State University. It's like, you can't make this stuff up, it's like just absolutely amazing how that energy just keeps circling and works that way. So I think that's a good takeoff from what we had today as well. So anything else, guys? No. Okay, Dan, anything else you want to throw at us?
No, I mean, also, I guess also just, it's so, I feel like it's such a fun thing to play with, like, the alchemy process, and just doing it on a little scale, but then also on a larger scale, depending on what's presented. That when they said that, there's just, or they say it frequently, but there's always something in me that just gets so kind of excited and just jazzed up by that continual process, and continuing to kind of hone that process.
Yeah, it's like a childlike energy. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that creative manifestation energy in the heart that's just like, oh, what can I make today? Or what can I do today? Kind of a thing. And so yeah, it's really kind of fun.
And
Very
just
joyful.
yeah, and to kind of like it feels like for lack of a better word, like magical, because it's you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't really like be taught it other than just through your own
Yeah.
practice and
Yeah.
experiencing. You're like, but wait a minute, how can this energy have been here? And now that energy is either it has a different flavor or it has a different impact on you, or it's just like a completely different energy. You're like, what happened? Like, where does all this happen? But
Yeah.
it's the cool, it's just such
Yeah.
an, yeah, it's just so interesting and
Yeah.
such kind of mystery, but not a mystery at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. You can end the recording if you want at this point.